Okay, so on a motorcycle trip, because you have such limited luggage space and you're going for days and days, it's always a big question of what gear to take and how you store it. Smallest and lightest is usually the key, but not always, in our experience at least. So we wanted to share what we've got sort of inside our bags, under the covers. So first off, these are the Giant Loop Tillamook dry bags. These things are bomb-proof. They are just awesome. And
how many liters are they?
About 50.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you so much to Giant Loop for these. So totally waterproof, roll down, and then the really cool feature, Jessica's favorite.
I know, I love this thing. So like when you roll it down, so then you don't have all of this air inside. That's always my biggest issue. You can just use this valve and it'll pull the air out, and then you just close it, and then everything is really compact and well protected. So that's my favorite feature.
Okay, so let's jump into what's inside, right?
No, show what's on the back.
Oh yeah. Cool. So, let's just slide this around here. This is like a backpack feature. It comes with just standard webbing. We changed it out for these pads, just for a little extra comfort, and it's, I would say, good for like light hikes, right?
Yeah, we can definitely wear these for, I don't know, 2 to 4 hours, I guess. After that, I think it's going to be a lot, because it's not like it has the whole like shebang with the waist belt and the chest strap. So, but this is good for even just lugging it back into the hotels at night or to the campsite. That's going to be really helpful. Then you don't have to like hold on to it by the side. You get something that you can put on your back.
Okay, so first off, we've got sleeping bags. We've got one on that side. So this one's mine. That one's
mine.
Jess.
Mine's a little bit bigger.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Also in the stuff sack are the liners, because that gives you an extra anywhere from like 5 degrees Celsius up to 10 or 12 degrees Celsius. So that's key. Plus, dirty, crummy motels, hotels, hostels. It's a good liner. Next up, let's just...
what do you have?
Okay, I have sort of just going top down. So Moxie has needs, and she has backup needs. So we have never had a gear malfunction, actually not on the road and not in daily life when it comes to Ruffly gear.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a shameless shout out, but it's true. Nevertheless, for a world trip, I mean, a backup riding harness, collar, leash, just in case.
Yep.
So that's going in her super duper beautiful kibble to go bag, which is a backup.
Yeah, you can see this one here. This is the one that I take along. This one actually carries her kibble in her pool. So this is what I'll be carrying. But Greg has her extra gear in the Tillamook.
So that's for her.
And I've got my pillow. So Greg always makes fun of me, but I have this thing where like I get a headache. If I must have an inner ear issue or something, but when I lay down, I need to have my head propped. And it's so hard to find a good pillow. But this one is the best one that I have found, and it's got like the foam on one side and it's got the blow up like air part on the other side. Obviously it's not like the smallest thing, but this is one luxury that it's not even a luxury for me. It's really a necessity. Otherwise I won't sleep well. We won't be able to like have a good night's sleep to wake up in the morning and do what we need to do. So this one is an essential.
So we had someone come by, and when people are on moto trips, they want to talk about their gear, of course. It's, you know, it's loads of fun. And he was looking at ours because it was all splayed out as we've been prepping for GoRUFFLY Around the World, and was like absolutely shocked at the size of our thermarests. And sometimes size does matter. He's talking about this thermarest that he's got that's like this big and whatever, and we try and keep an open mind, right? We've been doing this a while, we feel pretty good about our experience, but, you know, someone comes with new ideas, and so we started researching and looking into it, and...
Yes, it packs down really small, but like it's the loudest thing that you could be sleeping on. It doesn't have a really high R value, which it depends
in terms of insulation for how warm it keeps you.
Exactly, and the potential to sort of like shrink down when you're on it. The other thing is they're really thin because they pack down really small, and having Moxie in the tent with us, it's just not possible to have something that delicate around our beast, because those nails are just going to go in there and it's going to pop the thing. So we sort of decided against that. And then when we spoke to him after,
and that's when, of course, you peel back a layer, and it was like, well, yeah, I mean, I've camped out like twice in the past 6 weeks of my trip. The first night was absolutely horrible. I didn't get a wink of sleep, you know, tossing and turning. And the second time was like maybe a little bit better. But we have dialed it all in so we sleep well when we're camping. And that is the only way that you can sustain a long-term trip with camping and enjoy the camping and not become a zombie where you are desperate the next night to find a hotel. You know, if you want to be able to camp out multiple nights in a row, you've got comfort has to be a key piece of the equation.
So I've got the tarp here, and this is it's a pretty heavy-duty tarp, but it's lightweight, so it actually works really well. And it's what we use if it's raining outside and we just need an additional bit of space or coverage or something like that.
And the only thing more miserable sort of than being caught in the rain when you're camping is that you get then stuck inside your tent for hours. It could be like noon, and that's it. You don't get to come out. So this allows us to actually, you know, stay dry but not be stuck in the tent the whole time.
Yeah.
This one is Jess's fave.
So this is a small luxury item. This is the Helinox table, foldable table. And it's got those collapsible legs on the chair, like it has on a chair. And it's just an awesome thing that I use when I'm cooking. And I love camp cooking. If you watch any of our stuff, you know that I like to cook from scratch when we're at the campsite. And this just gives me space to like lay things out so they don't get dirty, so that Moxie's not like digging up the dirt from her hucker onto the food. Just gives us a little bit of extra sort of comfort at the campsite. So
welcome, Moxie.
So yes, it is a little bit big, but it's pretty lightweight, so it doesn't give us that much extra weight in the bags, but yeah, it's got a bit of both.
Our Kelty Dirt Motel, 3, because it's for 3 people, so way nicer than a lot of dirt motels out there. And we do a 3-person, both because Jess does not want to be too close to me.
No.
We have that kind of marriage, and also because we have the dog.
Yeah.
So by the time you get done giving Moxie her space, and she's a notorious encroacher, and she wants to just spread herself out, plus, you know, some gear that you want to kind of keep near you. I mean, a 2-person tent for 2 people doesn't really cut it. I keep a bunch of cold weather clothes right in here. So this is sort of my camping kit. It's got our lanterns in it, rechargeable battery lanterns. It's got like my really cold weather long johns and everything, camp towel. A couple of other interesting things with this. We have our Steri pen. So really anywhere where there's water, we can make it potable. The next one is a stake that is protected with a wine cork. So the whole idea is Moxie has a tendency to wander off a lot. And in some cases that's perfectly fine. In some campsites, especially like in the States and other things,
she needs to be on leash.
Yeah, so you get the idea.
Yeah, so that works really well. Then we don't have to carry along a huge long leash for her. The rope is multi-purpose. We can use it to tie her up, or we could use it for other things around the campsite. Okay, so our 10-liter dromedary bag from MSR. I keep it about 9-10 liters, and this goes across my passenger seat, sort of in front of where the Tillamooks go. And obviously this is for camping water, this is for drinking water through the day, but mostly camping water. And then we've also got this tubing that we can put attached to the bag to work as a shower. So that way we can actually, with all those straps on it, we always find a place where we can hang it up higher, and then we can just have a nice little shower in the mornings or in the evening. So this is a useful thing.
And again, the key here is, do you need to shower when you're camping? Absolutely not. You don't need to. But if you are planning to camp sort of day in, day out, if you're going to want to just be able to camp any night or every night. And you're wild
camping and you're not where there's facilities, then something like this, especially somebody, like we both pretty much have long hair now, and being able to wash it before you put your helmet on again, you know, that's just a really important thing. For cooking, we use the MSR Whisper Light stove, and this is a stove that uses multi-purpose fuel, right?
Pretty much any fuel.
Any fuel. So this will, Greg has the canisters on the back of his bike. One of them has additional petrol in it when we need it, if we need it to top up the bike if there's no gas station, or it's mainly used for camping. We always make sure that it's full. And so that is what we use with the Whisper Light. It is not whisper in terms of sound. It is quite loud.
A blast furnace.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it, it's got a simmer, like, so you can turn it down, and so it's not just full heat all the time. So it boils quite fast, I guess depending on your elevation, but it goes really fast. But it allows you to simmer. So if there's soups or if I'm doing lentils or something like that, it just allows it to cook at a lower temperature. And then my cooking stuff. So yeah, again, one of the things I enjoy cooking. So I have a lot of cooking stuff, and I just really love it. It's really easy to clean.
All Teflon.
Yes, all Teflon, so that at the campsite you're not like scratching at it to get it clean.
Last but not least, in the Tillamooks are the camping chairs, and pretty straightforward. A lot more pleasant to sit on a camping chair than like one of your metal side cases, if you have metal side cases. And the key thing is that it has a backrest. A lot of them, there's like smaller ones that are stools, yeah, or people sitting on their metal cases or something, but like you've been riding hard all day, and having a backrest is huge. And again, all of the sort of luxury about this, because we are very aware that these are not the smallest and lightest items, but it is all about having the comfort,
yeah,
and I mean comfort.
Yeah, to make you want to keep camping.
Yeah, exactly. To make it pleasant so that you'll keep doing it.
So I carry a few things in my side cases as well as in the front of my tank pannier bags. One of them is my towel. Okay, so Greg gave me a lot of grief about my previous towel. I had a lovely, like, luxury camp
spa
towel.
towel.
It wasn't a spa towel. I also have, Arcadia provided us with these cool backpacks. These are waterproof backpacks. Greg has one too, his is orange. And they are so lightweight, they just pack down really small, so when we're not using them, we can just have them in this little stuff sack. We brought them when we went we were in a river somewhere, and we were like hiking across a thing, and we had to go in the water.
I lost the trail, actually. We had left some gear, and I had sliced my thumb off, basically, from a camping knife playing around, and so I was out of commission, which meant that Jess had to go amphibious style into the river to get her stuff. And totally waterproof.
Swam and had this on my back, and it was, yeah, perfectly waterproof. So great thing to carry along. For Moxie, one of the things, if you followed us, you know that one of our biggest camping tricks for dogs is to have a moat. Biggest issue that we've had with Moxie's food is that ants get into it or insects get into it, and then you can't like repurpose it. I can't put it back into the kibble bag because it infests the whole thing. So this way I can put food in her collapsible bowl, and then I've got this cool X-plate, which is like collapsible. It actually is a cutting board as well. But the idea is you put water in the bottom, you put the food inside, and this allows for, there's a barrier. The ants are not going to want to go into the water, into the food. So that prevents them from ruining her food, and it also gives her a little bit of space so that she can drink from her trough here as well.
Which means we don't need an extra bowl.
An extra bowl. I carry along this cooler bag. This is a new one that I got, but it is a good thing to have in my side case, so that if we are picking up things that that I want to cook for the night, like say it's like butter I need for something, or cheese,
butter, yeah.
And also when we're like on picnic or something, you can just put food in this and take it along. Another thing we've come across are the stashers. These are these reusable like Ziplocs. Issue is like there is a lot of extra like plasticky stuff on this.
Well, so here's the thing, right? This is not the kind of thing you're going to use for just any old thing that you need to put, in a Ziploc bag. This is something that, like those Ziploc bags, the shop bags or whatever that you get, our experience has been like you go into them day in, day out, those things are broken within days, let alone weeks or months.
Yeah.
So the stasher is really key for something that, daily you're going into, and it's going to withstand all of that, and you're not going to be looking for a new bag or have to carry a pile of shop bags with you to replace it as it goes bad.
Yeah. I have SW Motec cases, side cases, and I've also got the liner bags that go inside that are really like plush, and they're much nicer than Greg's. One side has all of my clothes It's got my running shoes in it and all of that stuff. The other side has food. It's got my other side has my laptop. The other side has my food and all other like littler things. And one of the issues that I always have is organization.
Because she's messy.
So I have these packing cubes, which we tried out in our last trip, and I absolutely loved. It allows you to like put the clothes in here, and then using the zipper, it compresses it, so it makes it smaller, and it keeps everything in its place. And that is what I am going to be using on this around the world trip to keep things organized. And I think I have like they come.
It's very clear that they will be used as they are supposed to be used. This first, as you know, from the beginning, they will be packed properly, just like on the last trip over the holidays. Will they be reused after the first laundry?
Yes.
That's what, stay tuned. So real quick, in terms of, additional luggage on my bike, I have the 2 side cases, clothes obviously, the computer, and then I carry a spare monitor, which is about this thick, so really just slides in there nicely. But for editing videos like this one, it's key. In addition, I have the 2 tank pannier bags, which are dedicated totally to food. So that gives us about, I guess, 12 liters of camping food, which means we can go to the grocery sort of once every few days, right?
Yeah.
In addition, Giant Loop has these pannier pockets, which I have managed to place beautifully alongside the tank bag. And one side has all of our camera stuff, handholds and other GoPro stuff. And the other side is dedicated to survival equipment, by which I mean treats and snacks for Jessica. Cannot survive without them.
It's my snack drawer.
Snack drawer. One more huge luxury essential. The Nano Presso. This guy is amazing. We have an episode from a recent trip, episode 27, could be, where we talk all about it and I show it in detail. This thing is amazing. Espressos at the campsite. And the key here is, like, we are sort of coffee fiends, admittedly. We've been living in a coffee region for years. And so what we don't want is to be packing up at the campsite, sort of in our coffee haze, lack of coffee rush, to go look for coffee at in the next town or whatever.
In my pannier tank bags, one side is dedicated to Moxie's food, so all of her kibble goes into like that's my right side, and then the left side has all of my other stuff for Moxie, like her leash. It's got her water bladder. So we have like a nice 2-liter water bladder that I put her water in, because she doesn't need our drinking water, so I can fill it up anywhere. And then as she drinks it, the bladder will collapse, and then I'm not carrying around this really hard-shelled bottle. So that saves space. And then I also have some treats in there for her, and her light stick. So she carries at night when we want to see her, she's got like a glow-in-the-dark, or an LED, collar that we put on her so that we can see her.
So new for the round the world trip is the K9 Moto Tail Bag, which sits on the rear underside of Moxie's cockpit. And that's about 2 liters of additional space that you wouldn't otherwise have. Moxie's got her sun shield in there for really harsh sunlight, rainfly, and her mother hucker, which is a travel with dog essential.
Yeah, it's great for the campsite, and anytime we're just taking a break, I can just pull it out. Having it in the tail bag just makes it easy that you can grab it, so that's what's in that. For this around the world trip, we actually got new helmets. So it's been like 6 years, I guess, since we've had new helmets. I used to have a modular, and now I've gone back to the full face helmet. And so these are Nex helmets. They're the Wed 2. X-Wed 2. I've got the black and white version, and Greg's got the Hill
Some design
version. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad that I got this. It's got the sun shield in it too, so that's always good in sunny times. And it's got a pin lock. I'm just really thrilled with it. And I have a whole rough cut on it, so if you want to check it out, we'll put the link in the description.
We are wearing mesh jackets for the trip, and only mesh jackets. And most of, like, you know, what you see is sort of around the world trips or big long trips is
Those
really,
tour jackets.
yeah, big heavy tour jackets. And we both did that for a while. For our first North South America trip, we had those. And basically what we found is that hot weather is much harder to deal with than cold weather, and the same goes true for the cockpit, which is why it's an open frame thing. I mean, you want more airflow, so even those big heavy bomb jackets that have all the vents, you're still carrying several pounds worth of gear on you, and no amount of venting is going to make that okay when you're in stop and go, you know, along the coast in 35-degree Celsius heat.
Yeah, and you can still fit, like, it's not like these are completely fitted jackets. There is space to put a nice big sweater. You can put your heated vest on as well. That's another thing that we carry along. We each have the battery-operated heated vests. So that's something that you can wear. You can put your thermals on under if you need to. But yeah, there's a lot of versatility by having a mesh jacket versus having one that's just meant to be like a four-season.